we have a promo link over at 50cards.shop. Enter the promo code ATNIGHT to get 5% off your order. Hey everybody, it's Atlas here. I'm here to show you my standard Dark States deck profile. And by Dark States, I mean Pale Moon. So, if you've watched all the old Nexus Core videos, a bunch of videos on this channel, I played Pale Moon for a long time. And then I sold all of it because I got bored. But then Bushiroad was like, hey, we're going to bring Luquier back in Standard. And I was like, Standard, you say? So, I'm here playing Silverthorns again. And honestly, I think it's a pretty solid road contender in the meta right now. I'm pretty sure Chronojet's going to mess that up for everybody. But I will take my wins where I can get them. So starting off here, you have Luquier, who allows you to, during your main phase, call 3 things with different grades. They get plus 5k if your opponent's Vanguard is straight through or greater. And then at the end of the turn, you can put 2 rear guards into Soul and draw a card. So technically that's a minus at end phase, but it doesn't really matter because you're calling stuff out anyway, and then you're just gonna, recoup at the end phase, especially because a lot of the things you're gonna be sucking back in have on-call effects, so you might as well do that. This is a great card, and you're thinking, well, wait, what? How are we gonna get 4 attacks? This is Standard. You need 4 attacks, and otherwise you don't matter. And so the reason, or the way to get around that is this order here. So this is an order that can be played from the Soul, which makes it so much better. You counterblast, and then your Vanguard with Luquier gets, or you pick a rear guard, and it gets, when your Vanguard attacks, put it into Soul, and then call a card with Pale Moon from Soul to rear. This thing is just freaking great. I also like the usage of this in Premium. Like, you can run this in Premium pretty easily and with a lot of fun. I'm not going to make the deck in Premium. If I make a profile for it, it would just kind of be disingenuous because I've never planned to make it or practice with it or anything. So I leave that up to your own devices. But this is the thing that allows us to get 4 attacks in a turn. And then for the rest of your ride line, you have Lyons, who is usually just a 15k attacker or 10k shield, which, thank God, they're finally giving more cards that do that and not having it be such a big deal. But when you ride on top of her Soul Charge, get a card from Soul, put it in hand. So depending on what you do with your Irina here, where she, when ridden upon, checks top 7, puts it into Soul, you can then fish it out of Soul on the next turn with Lyons. So there have been times where, with Irina's effect, I've gotten a PG, put it in Soul, fished it out on turn 3, or just, you put another copy of Luquier in there, and then you guarantee your Persona ride for turn 4. So this is a really solid ride line. The one problem is that they don't have effects actively happening on turn 1 and 2. It's always the turn after. I'm not really sure if we've talked about it on the show or anything, on Nexus at Night or anything, but just the whole deal with, all right, is the deck better if it activates the turn you ride it, or it's got a thing while attacking or something, versus when ridden on top of? I think that can vary depending on the deck. In this case, it doesn't hurt it too badly, but I'm wondering what it would be like if it was the other way around. 2 copies of this thing, or Celta, I think is how you pronounce it. So this is your only counter charge in the deck, and you need it. And you put so much Soul in there that the Soul Blast for the counter charge isn't a big deal. One thing that sucks is that in Premium you won't be able to use this with the V Luquier's effect, because she only calls Silverthorns, and this isn't a Silverthorn. So RIP, and that sucks. This thing, Rising Dragon, is fantastic, which is on play, put a card from hand into Soul and draw one. You can do that multiple times. So you can place them, do the effect, and then with the order, you can suck them in, pull them back out, and do it again if you want to. It's very good for curating your Soul. And then if you have a Luquier Vanguard and you've called 2 things from Soul, he gets +10. And then if you've called 4 or more things from Soul, he gets another +10. So it's always going to be only +10 unless you use the order. So it's just always a good card to use. And this is usually going to be your target for what you're calling out of Soul. And hitting for 30 and then 40k on a Persona Ride turn is very funny. 3 copies of Breathing Dragon, so when called from Soul, you can Soul Blast your front row 5k. It's nice that it gives it to Luquier herself instead of like just, choose 3 things in your front row and give them 5k. In this case, it's like giving your Vanguard half a Persona Ride, kind of. And then this can make your stuff hit a lot harder. This is a very nice target to have. It's usually what you're calling out as your grade 1 during your main phase. I have 1 copy of Lucial Songster. This is mostly for fun. I've used this effect, I think, twice in all the time I've used it, but it's very good in the mid-game where you're going first, you ride Luquier, you call this out of your soul as your grade 1, and you're using that to like put pressure on the opponent. Because then it's going, all right, I'm getting more cards in advance of you riding grade 3 for the first time. So good for that. This is annoying, but 4 copies of Falcate Performer. It's a $30 card right now. It shouldn't be, but you're using this to just reuse the order every time. So you play it from Soul, you attack with your Vanguard with the boost from Falcate, you put it back in. Use it for next turn. Fantastic card. I'm only able to have this because Root Beer is very generous. Thank you, Root Beer. Your 4 PGs and then Tangle Venerer. So this was a promo that we got at BCS, and I got these from my friends where I have my 1 and then they gave me theirs because they didn't want it. End of the battle that he boosted, put it into your soul, give something 5k. I like this instead of just the guy with an axe or whatever it is, where it's like if you called it from soul, it gets 5k for the turn. I like this because you can put the 5k wherever you want. It allows you to go, all right, I'm going to boost with this and then give it to Vanguard to like overcome a damage, or give it to your other rear guard so it packs more of a wallop. So very, very flexible card, this guy. And then for your triggers, it's 4 crits, 4 fronts, 3 draws, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Like shield, crits are nice. Like there's not really much to say, and I'm sorry I don't have more to say about the deck, but I can say that it puts up a great fight against Youthberg. It's gone well against Minerva. It's a very solid deck, and I don't know how expensive Luquier is at the exact time of recording this, but if you picked up the Falcate Performer for Jejuled and you're bored of Jejuled, give this a try. This thing is just a very solid deck, very consistent, mostly because of Dragon allowing you to filter and draw and all that good stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much the deck profile. Thanks everybody for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment. I'll have the deck log in the description if you want to just go get the list because you don't like me. No, I'm kidding. I've watched deck profiles where I'm just like, I just need the list, man. Just give it to me. It's down there. Don't worry about it. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment. Patreon.com/NexusAtNight, and I'll see you next time.